as tourism is a very long process and it's a long term process, it okay, then next is the government is looking for a short term plan like Narega. Okay, like Narega is the 100 days work for the unemployed person in the rural areas. Okay, so this is how the government is can create more employment in the country. Moving on to the next important topic of this chapter is division of sector as organized and unorganized sector. So students, please be attentive as one or two questions from this topic will be coming in your exam. So please be attentive. So first is organized sector. So in organized sector cover those enterprises or place of work where the terms of employment are regular and people have assured work. That means they are registered by government and have to follow the rules and regulation. So this organized sectors are registered by the government and have to follow rules and regulation. Okay, and number two is job security. So those people who are working in the organized sectors have the job security. That means without any strong reason they will not be fired by the authority. Okay, and number three is it has fixed working hours and overtime as well. So it has fixed working hours from 9 to 4 or 8 to 4 like that. Okay, and it is 48 hours a week. Okay, but but if they want to work overtime, then they will be paid extra for that. Okay, number 4 is paid holidays. So they will be getting paid holidays. So during the holidays their salaries will not be cut off. Okay, so they will be paid during the holidays also. And number 5 is they have very good working conditions. So they have very good working condition because will be getting all the basic facilities like drinking water, teas and all while walking. Okay, so they have a very good working condition. And next number 6 point is pension. They will be getting pension after retirement. Okay, and example of these organized sectors are government jobs, banks, schools, private limited schools. All this comes under organized sector. So moving on, we have unorganized sector. So what is there in unorganized sectors? So we are going to study about that. So these organized sectors are not registered by the government and do not follow rules. So these are privately owned sector. That is the reason why this is not registered with the government and do not follow rules. Okay, number 2 is no job security, and the people who are working in unorganized sector have no job security. They will be fired any time. Okay, and number 3 is no fixed working hours. So they don't have fixed working hours and they will not paid extra for working overtime also. Okay, number 4 is no paid holidays. So if they in the unorganized sectors, they will not get a paid holidays, because when they will if they will come to work, they will get wages. If they will not come, they will not get. Okay, so they have a next is number they have a very bad working condition, as the owner or will always try to make profit. So that's why they will not provide a very good working condition for them. Number next is no pension. They will not get pension after retirement also. Okay, and if they are retired also. Okay, number Examples are the person who are working in dabas and all, and the person who are working in road construction labors and all the farmers comes under unorganized sector workers. Hope you all are clear. Moving on, next we have the protection of worker in organized sector. So what else the government can do to protect the workers in unorganized sector? So develop alternative source of employment beside agriculture. So we have to uh, develop an alternative source of employment beside agriculture. For this purpose, other sections of employment like power, finance, skills development, and other infrastructure needed to be developed. So next is public works program like construction of road and school buildings, digging of irrigation canals, and other similar work should be implemented in the rural areas with a view to provide employment to the rural workers throughout the year. So if the government will continue with the construction of roads, school buildings, digging of irrigation canals, then what happens? The people who are living in the rural areas will get employment. Number third is, since the worker is in the unorganized sectors have no social security or job security, the government must provide them compulsory insurance either on the marginal contribution or no, or on a nominal contribution. Moving on to the last topic of this chapter, that is sectors in terms of ownership. The economic activities can also be classified on the basis of ownership, which means who owns the asset and who is responsible for delivery of services. On the basis of ownership, there are two sectors of economy, that is public sector and private sector. So in the basis of ownership, these sectors are divided into two sectors, that is public sector and private sector. This is also very important. 3 marks question might come from this. So public and private sector. In the public sector, government owns most of the asset and provides all the service, therefore it's also called state sector or the government sector. Example, Indian Railways, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, all this comes under public sector. So the things which belongs to public and the things which have been done for the public benefit is that all things comes under public sector, and it is controlled by the government. So in the private sector, ownership of asset and delivery of service lie in the hands of individual. So what in the public sector, the ownership of assets and the delivery of service lies in the hands of individual or the private companies. Example, Hindustan Unilever, Tisco. Public sector operates with welfare motive, while private sector operates for the profit motive. So those things which only belongs to particular individual is known as private sector enterprise. So this private sector companies always works and operates for the profit making. But the government or the public sector always work and have the motive to serve people only. So in India, public sector predominates in mining, power generation, healthcare, education, etc., which belongs to the infrastructure development of core activities. So in India, public sector predominantly healthcare, education, etc., which belongs to the infrastructure development or core activities, while private sector predominates in agriculture, trade, hotel, manufacturing of goods, etc. So role of public government sector: developing infrastructure. This is done by developing means of transport, power, communication, heavy industries, building bridges, roads, and railways. So the role of government or the public sector, or in the public sector, so what the government is doing for the public. Okay, developing infrastructure. So all this infrastructure, like the means of transport, power, communication, heavy industry, building bridges, roads and railways, are done by the government. Okay, so next is developing backward regions by setting up industries, making roads, etc., to provide employment in the backward areas. So this public or the government sector is developing the backward areas by making roads and setting up industries, by providing employment who are living in the rural areas. Okay, so encourage private sector to open small scale industries and generate so this government is also encouraging the private sector companies to open small scale industries and generate some employment for the people also. Okay, and next is support farmers by buying food grains and supports poor people by supplying food grains at low price. So the government is also supporting by buying food grains from the farmers, and also supporting people by supplying food grains through ration at a low price. Okay, next is provides healthcare facility and education in backward and rural areas. So this government also provides healthcare and facility education in the backward rural areas free of cost. So dear students, with that we have covered the second chapter of economics, that is the sectors of Indian economy. So as a home assignment, I want you all to do all the NCERT book, answer the questions, and MCQs also. And if you are having problem, as I've already told, you can download my CBSE app and you can do from there. And so with that, stay home, stay safe, and thank you for watching this